I have more arcs. Let's talk about them. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new here. Hi, my name is Liz and today we're going to be doing another arcs video. So I've done a few of these already. They're books that are going to be coming out in the next few months and they're really exciting. Some of them actually. I do have one book that comes out in December of this year, which is probably the furthest timeline I've had in an arc ever. So that's really fun and really exciting to share. Literally every single one of these books is one that I personally want to read and I'm really excited about them. We got a mixture of romance, fantasy, young adult. I think we have one like either horror or mystery thriller. That's kind of like the sweet spot. Those are the genres we have to talk about. The first book that we are going to talk about today is Jilted by Vi Keeland. I am so incredibly excited to read this book. It says that it's a swoony romance where 27 Dresses meets The Hating Game. I love the movie 27 Dresses and I also love The Hating Game. I read that a couple years ago and I devoured it. And also any romance book that centers around a wedding, I'm gonna eat it up. Let's go ahead and read the synopsis real quick. Weddings. I spend every working minute talking and writing about them, when just the thought of one makes me want to scream. After my fiance abandoned me at the altar last year, my dream job at Bride magazine has turned into a recurring nightmare. To add insult to injury, the bridezilla at my latest assignment somehow roped me into filling in for a missing bridesmaid. Of course, I had to get paired with the most gorgeous groomsman, naturally. Wilder Hayes is perfect, except when he opens his mouth and we end up bickering all evening. That is until the coat closet incident. At least I'll never have to see him again, or so I think, until I walk into work on Monday and find out Wilder isn't just a jerk, he's also my boss's son. And I'll be spending the rest of the season working with him at every single wedding I cover this year. Can the jilted bride and the man who is afraid of love find a way to heal each other? This is actually those two things combined, 27 Dresses and The Hating Game, and I am here for it. I'm so incredibly excited. And it's a shorter, quicker romance, so I think this will just be a really fun romance to throw in maybe this summer. I think I'm gonna read it. Next up, we have the one, I think it's a horror or it could be just a mystery thriller. I'm not quite sure. And that's We Live Here Now by Sarah Pinborough. And I don't read a ton of horror. I actually read the first horror book that I have actually liked this past month. I usually hate horror. So I'm looking to find other books that I can actually recommend to people because I know everyone reads a little bit of everything. And I do think that everyone can find at least one book that they enjoy in each genre. You just have to find the right author, find the right content that you're reading. And so I'm kind of trying to branch out, especially since horror is definitely not my comfort zone. After an accident that nearly kills her, Emily and her husband Freddie move from London to a beautiful Dartmoor country house called Larkin Lodge. The house is gorgeous, striking, and to Emily, something about it feels deeply wrong. I'm sorry, if you are moving into a house and you immediately have like this like dread or like this gut feeling that something's off, I'm out of there. It's like every horror movie when as soon as one thing happens and it looks like the house is haunted, I'm sorry, get out of there. Have you never watched a scary movie before? Let's normalize being able to up and move, especially based on a gut feeling. Because like most of the time our gut is right. So let's listen to it. Old boards creak at night. No. Fires go out. No. And books fall from the shelves. All of it stems from the terrible presence she feels in the third floor bedroom. Okay. I feel like this book could actually spook me, but also I am afraid that I'm going to be really annoyed with these characters. Like just leave. But these things happen only when Emily's alone. So are they happening at all? They are definitely happening. Let's not gaslight her into thinking she's crazy. She's still medically fragile. Her post-sepsis condition can cause hallucinatory side effects. Okay, I guess that's fair. Which means she can't fully trust her own senses. Freddie doesn't notice anything odd and is happy with their chance at a fresh start. Emily, however, starts to believe that the house is being haunted by someone who was murdered in it, though she can find no evidence of a wrongful death. As bizarre events pile up and her marriage starts to crumble, Emily becomes obsessed with discovering the truth about Larkin Lodge. But if the house has secrets, so do Emily and her husband, and they live here now. Unreliable narrator. That's the route we're going with this one. Okay. I think I can actually believe that a little bit more. Maybe I won't be as annoyed. Sounds spooky. The next one we have, this is one I am so incredibly excited for. I'm going to be reading this probably this upcoming month because of how excited I am for this. And that is The Poppy Fields by Nikki Ehrlich. This is the author of The Measure and I loved that book. Honestly, I still think about it to this day. There's certain books that just like change your brain chemistry and that was one of them for me. The description on this one says, what if there were a cure for the brokenhearted? Welcome to the Poppy Fields. From the author of the beloved runaway hit The Measure comes a stunning story about four strangers heading toward a controversial new treatment center that allows patients to sleep through their grief and awake healed, if they are willing to accept the shadowy side effect. The Poppy Fields is a stunning speculative story of healing, self-discovery, forgiveness, and found friendship for readers of Hello Beautiful and of course The Measure. That sounds fascinating. That is what I love about this author, is she makes me think. Like, her books genuinely make me think. Her books are such great book club books because the discussions you can have, chef's kiss. Like, so good. I'm so excited for this one. Next up, we have Of Flame and Fury by Michaela Bridge. This one says Fourth Wing meets Iron Widow in this enemies to lovers romantic fantasy. On an island built from ash and shrouded in fire, Phoenix Racing is as profitable as it is deadly. Kelvara and her team of underdogs, the Crimson Howlers, are desperate to win their annual races. But the Howlers need a new rider, which leads Kel to join forces with Warren Coopers, an arrogant rival she can't get out of her head. As tensions rise on and off the track, Kel accepts a job from a mysterious tech mogul who shows an unsettling interest in her phoenix, Savita. This thrusts Kel into a conspiracy that endangers everyone she loves, especially Coop, whom her resentment for is igniting into something dangerously new. Heart-pounding pages full of steamy romance, fiery confessions, political scheming, and volatile magic culminate in a final battle that none may survive. I'm excited about this one, actually. Hearing that's like Fourth Wing meets Iron Widow, I've been wanting to read Iron Widow. I've read Fourth Wing, obviously, but I also really want to read Iron Widow. So hearing that, maybe if I read this, it'll be a good way to like ease me into Iron Widow. All right, the next one, this is another one I'm actually really excited for, and that is Friends to Lovers by Sally Blakely. It is a dual narrative debut, a grown-up The Summer I Turned Pretty, perfect for fans of Emily Henry. Best friends Joni and Ren have been inseparable since childhood. So when Joni moves across the country for her job, the two devise a creative way to stay in touch. They'll be each other's plus ones every year for wedding season, no matter what else is happening in their lives. It's a tradition that works until a line is crossed and the friendship they once thought was forever is ruined. Now Joni is back at their family's shared summer home for her sister's wedding, and she's determined to make the week perfect, even if it means faking a friendship with Ren and avoiding the truth of why they have to fake it in the first place. How hard can it be to pretend to be friends with the person who once knew you best? But as sunny beach days together turn into starry nights, Joni begins to question what her life is without Ren in it. And when the wedding arrives, bringing past heartaches to the surface, she'll be forced to decide if loving Ren means letting him go or if theirs is a love story worth fighting for. That sounds so cute! And the perfect summer read, honestly. Something about a thick fantasy does something to my brain. Yes, it's intimidating, but also it's so satisfying. And that book is Arcana Academy. I don't know if I'm saying that word right. Probably not. By Elise Kova. This is not the final cover. This is just like the ARC cover, but I think I Googled what the final cover is gonna look like and I'll put it on the screen somewhere. It looks beautiful and I'm so excited for this book. Let's read the synopsis if I can find it. There's gonna be a map. I know that much. Okay, I don't actually see the synopsis for this one, but I'll read what the back little quick description blurb says. It says, love me, hate me, but only look at me like my existence sets you on fire. That's dramatic. Enter a world of tarot magic, dark academia, and enemies to lovers romance in the next hit series from bestselling author Elise Kova. So this is actually the author of Deal with the Elf King. I have not read those books, but I've heard good things about them, and I think eventually I would like to read those. I haven't heard much about this book, but I am actually still really excited. The next book, this is another one that I am so incredibly excited for because it's by an author that I have read previously and really enjoyed her books, and that is The Executioners 3 by Susan Dennard. This is the author of the Luminaries trilogy, I think it's a trilogy. I always feel like her settings, she does such a great job writing her settings because I feel like I'm there. I feel the same feelings that I would if I was actually there, physically present. This is a brand new, I want to say, series that she started. It has nothing to do with the Luminaries. Freddie Geller didn't mean to get half the rival high school arrested. What a great way to start. She'd simply heard shrieks coming from the woods, so she'd called the cops like any good human would do. How was she supposed to know it was just kids partying? Except the next day, a body is found, and while the local sheriff might call it suicide, Freddie's instincts tell her otherwise. So like the aspiring sleuth and true X-Files aficionado she is, Freddie sets out to prove there's a murderer at large. This honestly sounds like Good Girl's Guide to Murder. But her investigation is quickly disrupted by the rivalry between her school and the school of the partying teens she got arrested. For more than 20 years now, the two student bodies have had an ongoing prank war, and Freddie's failed attempt at Good Samaritanism. Why can't I say this word? At Good Samaritanism has upped the ante, big time. Worse, the clever and gorgeous leader of the rival prank squad has set his sights on Freddy. As more pranks unfurl, more bodies also start piling up in the forest, but it's the supernatural warning signs around town, each plucked straight from an old forgotten poem called The Executioner's 3, that worry Freddy the most. She knows the poem and its blood curse can't be real, but she's quickly running out of time to prove it, because the murderer or executioners knows she's onto them now, and their next target might just be Freddy. This sounds awesome. This sounds like it's fall. Next up, we have Wish You Were Her by L. McNichol. The title doesn't sound great. I'm sure it'll make sense once I actually read the book. It's a young adult version of Book Lovers meets You've Got Mail. Okay, twist my arm. I'll read it. 18-year-old Allegra Brooks has skyrocketed to fame after starring in a hit television show, and she's the overnight success that everyone's talking about. They just don't know she's autistic. And now all she wants is a normal teenage summer. Her destination for escape is the remote Lake Pristine and its annual book festival, organized by the dedicated but unfriendly senior bookseller Jonah Thorne. In small towns like Lake Pristine, misunderstandings abound, and before long, the two are drawn into high-profile hostility that's a far cry from the drama-free holiday Allegra was craving. Thank goodness for her saving grace, the increasingly personal emails she's been sharing with a charming and anonymous bookseller who is definitely not Jonah Thorne. An unforgettable rom-com about finding the one person who makes you feel like yourself when the whole world is watching. Oh, okay. If you have watched any of my videos, then you would know by now, I am a sucker for pen pal relationships. Anything that's like You've Got Mail, I'm gonna eat it up. The final book that I'm gonna be talking about in today's video, this one does not come out until like December of this year, so this one's a long way off, but you can at least add it to your list of books that you should read, mainly because the title and cover are everything. And this one is Everyone in the Group Chat Dies by L.M. Chilton. It's the author of Don't Swipe Right, which I have not personally read, but now that I have seen this book, I kind of want to look up that one and maybe read it before I read this. This one also, since it's so far out, does not have like an actual synopsis in the book, but I'll read some of the quotes and stuff. It says, from the breakout author of Don't Swipe Right comes a compulsively readable, surprisingly funny, and genuinely thrilling page turner about a social media true crime investigator, a text thread from hell, and secrets that won't just stay in the grave where they belong. So some of the quotes on the back, it says, this novel does exactly what it says on the great cover, a funny, twisty, bloodthirsty murder mystery, great fun. And that's Julie May Cohen, who's the author of Bad Men. Everyone in the Group Chat Dies starts with the brilliant premise of receiving WhatsApp messages from a corpse. It's twisty, pacey, and devilishly fun. I loved it. That's by Katie Marsh, the author of How Not to Murder Your Ex. I need to read this book. I don't really know much more besides that, but honestly, this seems like the type of book that you could just go into blind. Honestly, I think this is one of my favorite ARC stacks I've received yet. I hope you guys enjoyed. This was fun. I'm really, really excited about these books. A lot of these have been bumped up on my TBR list, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully it gave you some new books to add to your never-ending TBR pile. Sorry about ya. And I will see you guys in my next video. Happy reading. Bye.